Sadly, this episode for poor Uraka, one of my favorite UA girls, won't have the best or longest episodes. But anyways, anyone who has been waiting for Todoroki X villain, no, Yandere listener, it is hopefully coming by tomorrow or the next day. By meaning, the day after tomorrow. But hopefully I'll have it finished very soon. And so you guys finally get your yandere self you've all been craving for. But anyways, here is our sweet Uraraka story. Up and down, the balloons bobbled in the breeze, and the smell of funnel cakes rooted your nose. Music filled your ears with the laughter of many people around you as they were hand in hand with the one you loved. Yep, that's right. It was fake. You were doing this for a long game of family rivalry, and she was helping you. Uchaka Uraka, after hearing that your revealed relative cousin got a girlfriend, you decided you need to step up your rival game and blurt out without thinking, I have a girlfriend. You don't see that. You just don't see them. And then faced with that problem, you asked Uchako to be your date to the family festival adventure. A traditional where the family got together and went to the town festival that celebrated the old folklore of some women in a red dress who floats lanterns for a signal for perfection, love, and whatnot. You knew the whole story, but right now, you didn't care, as you were trying to convince your cousin that you were actually dating your fake date, even if you weren't. So, dear cousin, this is the so-called girlfriend. Sorry, but I really don't believe that you would be able to find someone who puts up with you. Your cousin states, and you grit your teeth at them. Well, I put up with them. You shouldn't be so mean to family. They are nice and are the perfect partner. You're just jealous because you got Blondo Deluxe over there, wondering why her nail job doesn't look as good as it did last week when she filed it all down. Uchako said, your eyes widened. You look over to your cousin. They wore the most shocked expression, and their girlfriend just looked up from her hand for a second before rolling her eyes and going back to her nails. Whatever, your cousin growled, before stomping off to his girlfriend, following blandly, chewing on a piece of gum, and studying her nails. That was awesome, you said and hugged Ochako, spinning her around. When you set her back down, both of you were laughing. You realized what you did and let out a nervous cough. Thanks, you said, and let go of her. Both of you a blushing mess. You both had a good time playing games and earning such at their prizes. You bought her a bag of cotton candy, my favorite. And she looked at you like the richest person alive before both of you went playing games again. She helped you throw darts at the balloons with her quirk, and you used your strength quirk to hit the ball in a hammer game. You both walked hand in hand, having gotten used to it without noticing. Even if this wasn't supposed to be fake, both agreed you couldn't help but want this to continue. When night rolled around, the flames of lanterns started to float here and there. Some would fall and others would continue to float. Some would float up, then fall. It all resented the love of a woman in a red dress. What's the story of that woman? Uchako asked as she saw you staring at the lantern. You looked at her and smiled. Well, it's not quite clear, but the woman in the red dress was said to have been in many relationships. No one would truly love her each year. When the festival comes around, and she's said to cry at the edge of a cliff. Her tears dropped down, and the river felt her pain and granted her a gift. If she could light a lantern and make it float all the way out of sight, she would know the person loves her, and the relationship would last forever, you said, and she listened closely. So the two people floated the lantern to see if the relationship will be great. She asked, and you nodded. She seemed sad, and you raised an eyebrow. Think of all the relationships that ended, she said, and you nodded. Well, dear cousin, you haven't let off a lantern yet. I bet your love is always doomed to fail, your cousin said, and you grit your teeth. Weren't you just fighting your lantern for not floating? You commented, and they shut up. It's a stupid folklore. They stood up straight and walked away. Well, wanna try it? Ichako asked, and you looked at her. The thought of a relationship made your cheeks hint with red, and you nodded, knowing even if you weren't together, you wanted to light off the lantern. She grabbed your hand, and you both went to the lantern booth and picked one out. It was a circular shape with green paint leaves on it that decorated the bottom. You both stood by the well, and you lit the lantern, careful not to let it go out just yet. You let her hold one side, and you held the other side. You both looked at each other, waiting for you both to be ready to let go. She nodded, and you smiled at her before you both slowly let go. It staggered a bit as you both let it flow into the air, and you watched as it kept flying up. It was as if it was soaring as it continued on and on. You felt your heart raise and butterflies swarm in your chest as Uraraka grabbed hold of your hand, with a blush as you both looked at each other, then back to the lantern. So I guess that means it's a perfect match, she said, and you blushed once more. The lantern seemed to continue floating on, so it was as if it would continue on for an infinity.